I beg your pardon, guys, for my highly deodorized throat, thus rendering quite unable to howl that long and with that much of intensity. So what is going on, YouTubers? My most beloved viewers, subscribers, and patrons. It's the 4th of September, year 2025, both at Australian Eastern Standard Time / Sydney time and local local Shanghai time. Pardon. So during this live stream, I just like to rant more about life, about the intrinsic selfish nature of bearing offsprings by parents and shit. Welcome, folks. Welcome, ladies and I beg your pardon. Yeah. To answer first of all, to answer your questions, just got a lamp here to improve the filming quality. Yeah. So, what is the reason for your fascination with the British accent? Well, I guess it has something to do with a British girl. I came across in some video games like Mass Effect and the Dragon Age Inquisition. Well, the one that Samantha Trainer in Mass Effect 3, and also the British female Inquisitor in Inquisition. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool and mesmerizing. And yes, I do, kind of had a crush on her. And on the other hand, though, yes, she is now married and having, maybe a few offsprings. So so I don't really have any intention, to say to undermine or compromise her marriage, her family. So I'll just kind of in the dark. You may say that. You are the realist one. You are the realist out there. You don't hide and click bait thumbnail and other shilling. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you found my channel, my views, likable or to your satisfaction. You fell in love with the least known Mass Effect lady. Well, there are some other, female characters / voice actresses I found to my likings and affections. Say, you know, Kasumi, for example. But yeah, but like I said, I just admire them in the dark, and no, I don't fap to them. I say the sex them in any way. So in case you feel curious to know, you know, uh, there's a vast um, you know, admiration and lust are not the same. They are two completely, they are two things. You know, yeah, it kind of it kind of amazed me that all of a sudden I have in total one, two, three, four, yeah, four viewers at the same time showing up to my stream. Yeah, which I didn't really. I have to say that I have to, yeah. Never played Dragon Age series. British sounding lady can think of is Witcher 3. Sure. There are plenty of Brits in Dragon Age Inquisition. Not just the British, also Liliana. Yeah, the spy master. Yeah, but she also made her origin and Dragon Age. But I didn't, really spend a lot of time playing, the first two series of Dragon Age franchise, since somehow they kind of made my head spin. Namely, they tend to give me some vertigos as soon as I start playing them. So I just and quite strangely, Dragon Age Inquisition um, um, quite strangely, Dragon Age Inquisition does not give me that sort of vertigo, per se. So um, I saw the Chinese display of weapons and tech yesterday, and it was parade. Yeah, the official. I pretty much take no in that those sort of thing. But yes, I heard it was magnificent and spectacular to to say the least. I had a discussion with a big buff old black man who was incarcerated and learned some things. Yeah, I, I'm happy to be hikikomori. I feel blessed, the the feds game stock with African American feds, grandma, and ex convicts neighborhood watch. I don't know how you get yourself involved with the feds and oh, your ex convicts neighborhood watch. Maybe I suggest wherever possible, maybe you should relocate to another state or to another country or region for your own benefits and safety and security in that case. But I don't really know much, or I should say, I don't know about your whole circumstance at all. So feel free to feel free to um, feel free to ignore or scratch what I just said. But yeah, it's yeah, it's not it's not for everyone, to go MGTOW or to remain a hikikomori or a neat, you know, say for such a long period of time, if not for your whole lifetime. Yeah, but yeah, I am not here to advocate to advocate for men's rights movement or whatnot or blah blah blah. You must know how to um, um, you must know how to um, you must know how to tell the um, the the key the key um, you um what is men's movement. They are not the same, and I know it's quite common for people to mix these two terms, not the same. They differ vastly from one another. For your information, you are not a real person. What do you mean? You mean you don't like seeing truths and facts and enjoy having your head um, buried in sands in sand dunes. Well, I'm not here to judge or to convince you which sort of you know ideology or religious belief to follow. No, just do your own due diligence to find out which ones. It's hard to explain. Of course, it is hard to you know deconstruct and dissect one's mind. Even I don't fully understand my own mind and my own thought patterns and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's quite it takes a great deal of effort slash hard work to even truly understand oneself, since you have to spend spend a great deal of time alone in solitude, for an extended of time, maybe a few months, even a few years, even decade. Notice how John, the book of Revelation. He spent pretty much the last not maybe not exactly the last two um, decades of his life, but maybe the last to a decade of his life on a penal island called you know um, Patmos. Yeah, if my memory still serves. Yeah, he spent that much of time to well at least to allegedly get in touch with God and gained some inspiration, and then wrote the book of Revelation, the last book of the Bible. You know, yeah, and yeah, women scare me. Women scare me. They are all psychopaths. Why you call your own sisters your your fellow con, compatriots, con, um, psychopaths? So, may I assume that you are a lady? I am only son. What do you mean? I dude or a girl? Never mind. Yeah, I the, the detailed statistics of viewers. I'm just here, to howl at God, to howl at and rant and no, not rant, but vent and rant about life as usual. I haven't had my my supper, not yet. Later, yes, I will. What is? Oh shit. Yeah, I beg your pardon for the fluctuating network. But yes, I do plan to have some cooked with some stir fried vegetables. Yeah, since for lunch I had some soup and tofu and rice. But yeah, I didn't 2 hours and a half since I got up quite early this morning at around 8:30 or 8:45 a.m. But I didn't really do anything productive in the morning for the day. Just I pretty much spent the entire morning bed rotting and you know watching YouTube. Yeah, watching some more black pill videos and ruminated about my own shit life. Other than that, yeah, I didn't really do much for the past week, but just indulging in overthinking and bed rotting, with some occasional exercises. Yeah, and sometimes some yes, I read some books while I took a dump while I while I drop some number twos above above the above the toilet hole. Black pill is law. Well, yes, based on your profile, based on your profile picture, way you speak, you do what you. I'm not here to educate or instruct you specifically on what you should do or and what you shouldn't do. You are your own man. You you decide what brings you the most amount of joy and satisfaction, and you decide. You hold the you know the you sit at the driving seat and hold the steering wheel of your life, of your own life. Well, as I do mine. Well, you never know. Like I said, according to the statistics, YouTube showed me there are about seven to seven about 7 to 11% of you know well about 7 to 11% of the females oftentimes come to watch my videos. Yeah, but you can't really fully trust their statistics on the whole um demographics. Beg your pardon for my stuttering, but I trust that I didn't really stutter that much during this live, as in comparison and contrast my previous ones. um she made a couple of videos, collected data, and deleted her channel. Men going their own way. Men going their has been a thing, but most people are going their own way, admitting it. It is institutional at this. Maybe, yeah, about whether it is institutional or not. I reserve my judgment. But so far as I know, they certainly placed institutional misandry that says they tend to place, well, at least the vast majority of the ruling class and tend to place the interest of females above males. Well, simply due to the intrinsic nature of of human beings. Say of you guys have already have had the prior knowledge as to why gynos rules. But just since well, at least in case of humans, human individual can only, ordinarily speaking, bear children of you know of of a single male. Well, carrying the genes of only one man, it such nature placed uh, a sovereign and an insurmountable limit on the um, growing um, potential of the whole human population. That says, generally speaking, a woman can only um, produce one egg, one one month. Maybe there are some exceptions. I don't really know since I am no anthropologist. But generally speaking, that's such rule applies to each and every female human individual here on planet Earth, and that makes the whole thing of the whole system, the whole governing system pertaining to gynocentrism logical and reasonable. From the point, from for the sole purpose of continued existence and survival of the entire human race. Yeah. If you catch my drift, I don't know if I, done an adequate job explaining and deconstructing why gynocentrism has to exist. Um, Otherwise, the whole humanity will eventually die off. But yeah, maybe that's cosmologically, maybe that's not a bad thing. Well, at least for all other non-human life forms residing on planet Earth. But God might disagree. So yeah, I am. Yes, I won't say that I am a hardcore anti-natalist, but certainly anti-natalism over the past several years has fortified itself on my mind. Yeah, that's for certain.